All right, it's time for some OCRP racing. iRacing, that is, here in Las Vegas tonight. And it should be a fantastic show. I am joined by Mr. Civ Ryan. Mr. Cortez couldn't make it tonight, was feeling under the weather, so hopefully he'll get back to health, and we'll see him for the finale. That's next week. How you doing tonight, Ryan?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you, Jeff?
I am doing much better now, ready for some racing. That is for certain. Good to see. Oh, look at that. We had Jason Lance at the top of the board the whole practice there, and Dylan Macedo just turned the fastest lap right there with a 30.670.
Very nice. That's a fast lap.
That is a fast lap here in Las Vegas. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put away the ticker here for a second. We're going to look at the schedule because here we are. Las Vegas Motor Speedway is tonight, and then next week, Richmond. So we do have 2 more races, and then everything will be wrapped up at Homestead. And before we went live, we had this whole debacle because you guys have been asking about the points situation, and to be honest, it was very confusing, but good old Brandon Osborne put it together with because we have things called drop weeks. And Ryan, I'm going to let you explain what those are.
Okay, so if you don't know what drop weeks are, here's a quick thing. So we in normal racing, you have every race counts. So every race, people get points, and then at the end of the year, it's the total points, and that's it. But because we all have real lives, we all have jobs, families, stuff going on outside of this. Oftentimes, some of these drivers can't make the race on the Thursday. So in order to not like completely penalize them for missing one race, because that could just effectively ruin a season for them, we have 3 drop weeks on the calendar. So what that means is each driver can drop their 3 worst scores, whether that's a last place or whether they show up every week and they drop a second place because they won everything else. They get to do that 3 times. So they get to take their 3 worst scores and they get to scrub it off their record. What's nice about that, like I said, it gives guys the opportunity, just in case they can't make it to a race, it doesn't completely penalize them. And then on the other side of things, guys that show up to every single race, they don't got to feel bad if like, oh, I only finished P15. That's okay. Like as long as I keep finishing above that, that will get scrubbed off. So that's kind of in a nutshell how it works. So you basically every driver just gets to take 3 of their scores, their worst scores away.
And there you have it. And the top 5 right now. Well, let's go with the top 10 for the most part. And I can tell you what's going on with that. We have Leonard Fodorero currently leading as of now. Then it would be Brandon Osborne, Matt Rucci, Wes Graham, Nick Sargent, Joel Brown, Ryan Steinhoff, Jason Lance, Charles Gray, and Dylan Macedo. That would be the top 10. Currently as it runs. Now, with the standings that we saw before the drop weeks, Dylan Macedo was all over there at the top. So that's a huge difference right there. That puts him 10 or 9 more spots down below where he's currently sitting as it stands with the regular standings before the drop weeks. So that's the reason why it was a little confusing. And, well, it should shape up for a really good points battle at the end. But how it's going to work at Miami is that after the race is over, we're going to have to find out what happened because they're going to have, well, we're going to have a good idea going into it because Ryan's going to do the quick maths and get it to you. So we'll have a good idea towards the end of that race who might finish where in the standings. But that's the reason why we haven't been talking about the standings. It didn't make sense, but that is the current situation there. Man, Joel Brown letting it all hang out right now there. 3rd fastest right now. And look at that, Lance back to the top of the board. And this is practice right now. This is not qualifying for those of you that were asking about that. Mr. Wes the Mess, Wes Graham out there. Let's ride on board with him. See how he's getting around the track. A lot of speed here at Las Vegas. And this is the Xfinity car. So this is a different style of racing. You're almost wide open, but it looks like he's breathing there, the throttle a little bit. But I have a feeling that in the first couple laps of the race, no one will be lifting. And did you raced on Monday? So tell us a little bit about Las Vegas and how you get around here with this car.
Tires. I mean, it's not every week I sound like a broken record, but it's tires is a big one. and it's all about just managing it. Because actually, Bugs and I were in a call together. We were just having some fun, and our strategy was to just stay at the back the whole race, just go easy on the tires, and then just eventually catch people and let everybody come to us. And it actually worked for the most part. We were able to get top 10 places out of that, but we weren't by any means the fastest. So yeah, tires are a big one. They're doing I think they're doing 125 laps here tonight, Jeff. Is that right?
Yeah, this is the Lady Luck 125 driven by Thrustmaster here tonight. So 125, yes. Well, it's a 1.5 mile track, so I could be wrong about that. I think it's less. Well, I'm not doing it. They need to put these all together for me so I know. Hey, this is how many laps we're going to have tonight versus the actual mileage. I mean, yeah, you could figure it out, but I'm just still. Oh, man.
Either way. Yes, it's about the first, probably around lap 11, 12 is when you really start to notice your tire fall off on fresh tires. And it's just about managing pushing versus just holding back. Obviously, if you're racing side by side and battling somebody, that's going to eat your tires up very quickly. So guys are going to want to avoid battling early on and just kind of stay on a nice, easy groove. You're going to want to stay kind of middle line between 1 and 2, letting off early, doing a little bit of trail braking, not much though. And then just easy on the throttle, sticking to the middle of 1 and 2. And then 3 and 4, you're able to get down a little farther. But it's all about just entry speed and just putting your car in the right position. So that is kind of the story tonight, is going to be watching tires and pit strategies too. There could be some different pit strategies tonight. We'll see what happens there.
Excited to see that for sure. But for the most part, I mean, how many laps do you think you can get away with just running wide open?
On the tires?
Well, I mean, talking right out of the gate on a restart or a start of the race.
Oh, if you're going like wide open,
yep.
Yeah, like I think 12 laps. Around then, that's when you'll start to notice the time start to fall.
Okay. So there you go. So it won't be, you won't see a whole lot. Well, it depends on if we have really short runs tonight or we have a long green flag run. But if we have these longer runs, or we have shorter runs, honestly, then you're going to see guys that will be, wide open for the most part as much as possible. And then utilizing that draft to get around other cars. But if we have long green flag runs, that's where the tire game is really going to come into it. And honestly, I think we might see a lot of green flag racing tonight.
Yeah, we saw a lot of green flag racing on Monday. I was actually the only caution of the night on Monday, and I kind of did it on purpose. I wrecked into the infield, and I was like, "Oh no, I guess I'm going back up on the track." It's a practice night, so I was like, "Let's throw a competition caution out." But anyways, yeah, there was not many cautions, and the other thing, it's very hard to pass on this track. So I think some guys are going to say, "Hey, I'm going to just save tires." Like I don't know if Bugs. Is he racing? I don't see him there.
Yeah, that's him right here we're looking at.
Oh, there he is. I know he might try to save tires. He kind of liked the strategy we did Monday night, not to be the extent we did it, but he's kind of one guy to save his tires and then start reeling them in at the end. But I think the top guys, Jeff, I think they're just going to go all out and then just try and drive the best they can on worn out stuff.
I think ones to watch are definitely going to be Rucci. And don't count out Brandon Osborne. He hasn't put any laps down yet, but I have a feeling he will be quite quick here. We've seen him quick at Las Vegas in the past. And honestly, look at the top 10 right now in speed. Clint Spells. I really have been talking about this entire season, how Clint Spells has really been putting his entire racing program together here for iRacing. And I got to say, it has been paying off quite well for him. And he's in the top 10 in speed again tonight. So I think he's looking at a top 10 or top 5 finish, honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah. He has been putting in a lot of time, a lot of effort out there on the track. And it would be great to see him even get a top 5 tonight. I would love to see Clint get top 5. And I think Nick Sargent, you don't want to count him out either. He actually won on Monday night. He was looking really fast. So Nick Sargent, he'll be up there. Graham, Charles Gray is always fast on these types of tracks. I think we could. It could be a bit of a toss-up too. We'll see.
I would be remiss if we don't talk about the points. And now that we have a good idea of where things are sitting as of right now, we need Favignano needs to have, a continue to have a good run. And also Matt Rucci lost, he didn't show up to those couple of races that hurt him. So he's got to have speed tonight, and he knows that. So I think he's going to be definitely gunning for positions. But the underdog in that whole thing is Wes Graham. Wes Graham right now with 274 compared to the 294 that Favignano has. But all Wes needs, honestly, is just like a top 5, top 3. I mean, that would be a really solid night for him. So it comes down to the points now. We thought Rucci had this thing in the bag, but then he lost those. He didn't show up for those couple of races. So now he's going to have to prove his worth in the next couple of races to possibly win a championship.
Yeah, it's going to be like, this is actually a really, really interesting race here for the points. It's really, really close. It's not like last season where Rucci just ran away with it halfway through the season. He was untouchable. It is very, very close between the top 5 and the top 10. So it's anybody's championship. And the last 2 races are going to decide it. So these guys are hungry. These guys want to put on a good show. And all these guys want to be fast and see themselves on the podium tonight.
And here's one of them right here. The 81 of Brandon Bugs, having a start of the season. Not anything good. Just bad luck. Took a bunch of races off. Wasn't sure if he wanted to get back in the car. Got comfortable with getting in the car again and doing it again. And has had quite a few great races recently. But, I mean, yeah, you can't win a championship at this point, but it doesn't mean you don't want to win the race. And getting a win would be a big deal for him.
We talked about him last race. I really like his attitude shift. And I feel like I was instrumental in helping shift his attitude. I gave him the pep talk. I was Rocky's trainer in the come on, man, come on, kid, keep your head up. But his mentality has completely shifted to just having fun. And I wish a lot of other guys would kind of get that mentality of just like, whatever, let's just have some fun. I think everybody for the most part is like that. But that's what this is. This race should be fun. It's whose line is it anyways? It's like the points really don't matter at the end. Like as much as there's a championship and you want to win the championship for bragging rights, no one's winning anything. Like there's no prizes. It's just for the glory. All glory, no gold.
And with this group of drivers, there's definitely going to be glory to that. Yeah, they hold very close to themselves.
Oh, if I won the championship, I'd be over the moon. I'd be chugging beers. I'd be hucking things. I'd be so happy. But
because it's hard. It's hard to win a championship, especially against guys like Rucci.
Getting a top 5 against these guys is an achievement. These guys are fast. Like, these guys are really fast. Some of these guys, when they go racing by themselves, are top split. Like, these guys are good. Like Wes, you got who races NIS, Osborne, who easily could be in the top split on races. There's a lot of talented drivers out here. So to get a top 5 finish against these guys is saying something. I kind of don't like them. I wish these guys were jerks and we could just go back to rookie racing where we actually have a chance. I don't know who let these guys in.
Good to see Gage Bookman out here turning some laps. He's been off. He missed quite a few races, but he's able to make it tonight. And we always are encouraging of those drivers that come back out and give it a shot. So good to see the 36. You got Jeff's Barber Shop on the front, and then the Better Help Chip Camaro. And some other drivers that are out here right now. We only have 2 minutes left in practice, but this one right here, I mean, good old Skirt Berkman, right here in the 9 Wendy's car. He's got a new paint scheme tonight, and I like it.
Oh, I like it. That looks delicious. Old school. It's kind of a retro Wendy's paint scheme.
I don't think I've ever seen a Wendy's stock car paint scheme, but I can say that it looks good. It's got that. He changed it. Looks like he has that. Well, I mean, it's not anything new, but he's got the Chase Elliott style 9 on that car.
You know what really scheme would be really cool to see, Jeff? And like this would be really, really cool. Would be an Amazon Prime gaming scheme. And wait a minute. I'm just busy because I just subbed to Jeff's channel with Amazon Prime for free. If you have Amazon Prime, go give Jeff Favignano your free Twitch Prime sub. It's free to do. You get emotes, you get cool stuff. Go do it. Show some support to Jeff. streams this, streams lots of stuff.
I appreciate it.
Favignano.
Speak of Amazon, the 67 of Leonard Favignano needing to keep that momentum forward to maintain his points lead. And I think we're going to see something out of him. He's currently 7th fastest on the track with a 30.755. And that's just slightly off. You know, I mean, we're talking the top 10 cars right now are really close in speed. So it's anybody's guess how they're going to qualify. And it's going to matter. I mean, track position is going to definitely be a key factor here. And you can tell based off of the lap times we're seeing.
Yeah, this start's gonna be really interesting. You're gonna get a lot of guys being shuffled down to the bottom, and you're gonna see that they won't want to stay there. And this race is quickly gonna go to a single file race, as everyone will just settle into kind of managing their tires. Because if they're out there battling up front early, they're gonna get swallowed up by everybody behind them quickly. So that's gonna be very interesting. The start's gonna be very important here, Jeff.
Oh, yes. And that concludes practice. So now we'll move into the next session. It'll be a 10-minute session, 5 minutes of which will be qualifying. The next 5 will be the driver's meeting. They probably won't take all of the 5 there, and then they will end up gridding after that. So once they begin that, we're going to put the sidebar up for you here so you can see where everybody's running for their qualifying. We're waiting for some drivers to get out there. Definitely want to keep an eye on Matt Rucci. He needs a really good run here. But who's going to get on track first? Well, the 80 of Brandon Osborne's out there.
All right. Osborne, our winner from last week. Was he our winner last week?
Yeah, last week at Mid-Ohio. He took the win, and he also has a previous win in the season at Bristol.
Yeah, he dominated last week at that road course.
Oh, yeah, it was insane. It was like a 12-second lead there, almost 20 seconds at one point. Absolutely amazing. So we'll see what kind of speed he has. He wasn't here in practice. Doesn't mean he didn't practice. I'm sure he did on his own time. So this is the first lap here. He's just taking the green flag for his first lap. You get 2 laps in qualifying. We'll ride on board with him. See what kind of speed he has. Real smooth exit there off of 2. It looks like he's going to lift right just past the black and then get back into the gas immediately. So we'll see where this puts him here on the board. Coming to the line now. And bam, 3rd. Joel Brown at the top right now. Oh, Wes Graham 2nd. It's getting interesting there. Let's see what Rucci's up to. There's Rucci. He's almost at the same spot of the track as Brandon Osborne was there.
Joel Brown, what a lap by
Fantastic.
Joel. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. That was a 30.683 he ran. Dylan Macedo at the top. And here's Rucci, top 5. There you go. That's what he needs. He needs to keep those points a-rolling. But there it is right there. I was talking about Clint Spells, and he's 7th right now because, well, somebody else has knocked them down. That was Leonard Favignano. But, yeah, Rucci and Spells really close there. And I was just talking about, Clint Spells having top 5 speed. Top 10, of course, we saw that. But, I mean, P7, that's not bad at all. Nothing to scoff at, that's for certain.
We got 25 drivers out here tonight, Jeff. 25. That's crazy.
That's a lot of guys. And check this out. The 25 currently, that's your pole sitter right there, Dylan Macedo. Fantastic job by that driver. He's going to come down and go join everyone at the driver's meeting. And we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back with your starting lineup for the Lady Luck 125, driven by the Rustmaster. Be right back. Welcome back to the Lady Luck 125, driven by Thrustmaster Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the OCRP iRacing Series. Joined by Mr. Civ Ryan CR. And who's your pick for the win tonight?
Oh, man. I really, really want Joel Brown to get a win, and he's looking strong. I'm going with Joel Brown, Jeff. Who are you going with?
I've got to say, the momentum that I have seen out of the 80 camp in the last couple weeks, I think Brandon Osborne is going to get the win tonight if he can beat Rucci, because Rucci's going to be hungry to get those points. It's going to be really close there, but I'm going to definitely say the 80 car.
I mean, that's a good pick. He's coming off a win. He's got that momentum, and as much as it's a thing in real life, it is a thing in sim racing as well to have the momentum swing. So that's a good pick there, Jeff. It's going to be interesting.
Well, he always comes back in adversity as well. He's one of those kind of drivers that just will do that. And, you know, not qualifying the greatest there. Well, not bad, but where did he end up at? He got dropped all the way down to 20th. I don't know what happened there. Because he was third fastest there, and then he dropped all the way to 20th. That's what I'm showing.
Oh.
With a 39.65. Because all of these, like all those laps we saw in qualify there, they were very, very close. So I think he's got the tenacity, and he's going to get up there and run with the best of them. But don't count out the 88 of Wes Graham. I think we might see some great things out of him. We know he knows how to get around Las Vegas, no problem.
Oh, yeah, Wes will be up there for sure. He knows his way around this track. He has driven this track. I mean, I don't know how many times.
Yeah,
so,
many times. And I've seen him perform here very, very well.
Yeah.
3 minutes now. You're finishing up their drivers' meeting. I'm ready for some racing. Let's get these guys on the grid.
Racing.
What are they doing?
Las Vegas.
Taking forever.
I've never been to... Jeff, you've been to Vegas, didn't you?
I have been to Vegas.
Yes. Yeah, there's Flight Sim con there.
Been there a couple times. I thought you've been to Vegas. You did the racing thing there.
No, I was supposed to go in January, and then...
Where did you do the racing thing with your dad?
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Phoenix Vipers. Yeah.
You can't say that.
Yeah, that's where that was. But Las Vegas is one of those things where you want to go there for the weekend and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I was like, when I was looking at booking the trip, I was like, I think 4 to 5 days is probably max.
More than enough time.
More than enough. I'm not really into gambling either. I'd go for like the shows and the copious amounts of alcohol. I'd be into that.
And all of the Gordon Ramsay restaurants.
Oh,
all right there in Las Vegas.
It's roll. Yeah, I would love to go to
that'd be great.
Get some 5-star dining for sure.
All right, so this should be starting our grid here in just a few. Looks like it will be, so we can take our timer down and bring the lap counter up. Yep, it is 125. This track itself is 1.52. Okay, so that's what they gave us, the lap, not the mileage. That's why it was confusing. Things confusing? Nah, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. All right, let's go ahead and just get the starting grid because we don't get screwed. We always get screwed on that. So let's start it off strong. Row 1. On the pole, Dylan Macedo on the 25. On the outside of him, Joel Brown.
Row 2, we got Jason Lance. Beside him, Wes the Mess 88 Graham.
Row number 3, Leonard Fodorero in that Amazon Chevy Camaro. On the outside of him, watch out for the 28, Matt Rucci.
In row 4, we got Clint Spells, attaboy Clint. With him, Rick Evans all the way up there.
Fantastic run by Rick there in qualifying. And row 5, Aaron Beaver and Nick Sargent.
Row 6, we got Charles Coldbore Gray, and beside him, Austin Johnson.
Row number 7, James Hilton and Alex Reno in the Union Pacific Ford Mustang.
Ryan Steinhoff and Jeffrey Spells fills out row 8.
Row number 9, Zachary Guzman and Kyle Cleveland.
That's a heck of a beer, Kyle. Row 10, Scott Berkman and Brandon Osborne.
Row number 11, Isaiah Stevens in the 44 car once again. And on the outside of him, Robert Webb in that Duracell Toyota Supra.
Row 12, we got Bay Area Bugs in the 81 GG Luckmobile. Beside him, Robert Bearder.
All right, Robert Bearder up there. Oh, well, not up there, but good to see him in the back there. Row 13, Gage Bookman. And that rounds out everyone there, so. All right, fantastic stuff. I thought we'd be rolling by now, but somebody's taking their sweet time.
I don't know what's happening. Are we on pause?
Don't
there
think
we
so.
go.
No, we're rolling. There they go. All right. Yeah, we thought we would have a little more, we'd have less time than this, but that isn't the case, so that's okay. I'm fine with it. Hey, Ryan, what do you think the weather's doing?
Man, I think wind is coming out of the north.
At 1 mile per hour. Air temperature 77 degrees, track temperature 93. That's actually pretty low for this track, so don't expect a lot of slipping and sliding, a lot of grip at the track here.
And we got that dynamic weather on, so you might see the clouds roll in here and cover the track. Happened to us on Monday, and the track temperature fell, and you all of a sudden had a lot of grip in your tires. So if we see some clouds roll in, you're going to start seeing some lap times get a little bit quicker.
190 miles around here, but they're going to call it the Lady Luck 125. It should be the 190, but the 190, but I'm not going to nitpick that. Look at the 25 of Macedo there. New colors as well. It's the second race without those colors. I think he had those at Mid-Ohio last week. And look at that, the 86 of Jason Lance. He's back in the IC, the Bear.
I gotta fix my timing screen. It's all types of wrong things.
Yeah, you gotta click on like the P on the filter, and then it's like, okay. All right, pace cars down and away. We're gonna be going green flag racing this time by the 25 of Dylan Macedo is the control car. Green flag in the air.
Good start there. Everyone's 2x2 into turn 1. Dylan Macedo out front. Joel Brown looking to see if he is clear right now, but he's going to try and get the run on the outside, sneak his nose in there, and he's going to force Macedo to stay on that bottom line coming into 3 and 4. He's actually quite happy with that. He wants Macedo down on that bottom line. Oh, he's getting loose. Those tires are loose.
And he's in the wall. The 88 involved. The caution is not out. I don't know how or why that is the case, but that is the caution's out.
Oh,
wow.
Man. Those tires were cold, Joel. That actually happened on Monday night. Same corner, same lap.
Wow.
Yep.
There you go. We're going to find out what happened here in just a few moments. Wait for the timing screen to kind of settle down so I can find the 43. Oof.
Yeah, cold tires.
And there he is. A lot of damage on that car. Really, really unfortunate for him, but he does have a fast repair and he can use that. Let's find out what happened because, man, it did not go well for the 43 right out of the gate on the first lap at all. Right here coming off of turn number 4 is where it happened. Let's see if we can see here in a better way. I mean, he's all sorts of sideways coming off this corner here.
Yeah,
yeah, right there.
Cold. He got into the throttle too much. The grip is down on that bottom line, so you got to be easy on the middle and high lines.
Look at the 86. He was sideways too. Jason Lance completely sideways in that corner. So it wasn't only the 43 that had the problem.
Let's see who gets collected up in this, Jeff.
A lot of guys right here. He goes up the track. We already know the 88 got a good hit there. He hits the wall again. That's what tore off the rest of it. The Aaron Beaver, the 97 car of Aaron Beaver got into it. And there's that. Everybody else is stacking up.
Rick Evans.
Yep.
Nick
Steinhoff.
Sargent.
He's involved. Nick Sargent. Scott Barkman, nice job dropping to the bottom. Here's everybody else. Kind of ARCA breaking a little there, but the 81 and the 80 both stayed out in the back and did not get involved. And we're going to re-rack them and stack them here. Dylan Macedo still your leader after an incredible crash. But yeah, it was the 86 of Jason Lance. I saw he was really loose on the bottom too. He was able to gather it up, but just goes to show, like you said, cold tires. That's got to scare you. As a driver this early on in the race, that you're not going to have that confidence on this restart.
It's you know what? It's lap 1 of this race is the sketchiest lap because those tires are cold and everyone's just finding a groove, but they're racing hard at the same time. So that's going to happen. I can't imagine we're going to see a lot more of that as the race goes on, as these guys get around the track. But the saving grace to all that, guys, is there is fast repairs, which means those cars get to basically come down to pit road, hit the reset button, get a fresh car, and they can get back out there. And actually, depending on the damage, this is a pretty decent sized track, so you might be able to get yourself repaired up quickly enough if you got like a 30-40 second repair time to get back out before the pack gets around and stay on that lead lap. So I'm looking now to see who took a fast repair. Let's check it out. It looks like Alexander Reno took his, Ryan Steinhoff, and Joel Brown.
Yep, Joel Brown did come down pit road. He's got a fresh car, but you only get one of them.
That's right.
And having to use it this early in the race is not usually a good thing.
It's not the end of the world, because we're gonna probably see some really big green flag runs here. So it's not the end of the world. It only matters if there's a really late caution and they get collected. So they're gonna be careful of that. But I think we're gonna see some green flag runs.
You know, these guys that started in the back and were being real easy on that caution when that came out was the 81 and the 80 both. And right now, Ryan 9th in 10th right now. Just
Sorry,
like that.
Ninth and 10th?
That's the Brandon and Brandon show.
The Brandon and Brandon.
Yep.
Yeah, they were able to sneak through that wreck and get right up there into the top 10. So, yeah, shakes things up. I feel like I have the commentator's curse on Joel there. That was my boy, and he was the one that wrecked. Sorry, Joel. Blame that on me.
Look at that. You got the 28 of Matt Rucci up in the mix in the 3rd position. I would expect him to be pretty aggressive on this restart.
You got Leonard Fodoraro up there in that 67 car, too. He's in a good position.
All right, let's try to get some laps in here, guys. Pace truck's down and away. Coming to the line, the control car of the 25. Green flag in the air.
Did you see how aggressive that pace truck came in?
Yeah, that was amazing.
He sent it in there. Good start there by Macedo. Clears 2 and 3 positions as they're going to go to single file here right out of 2. And he got a slow car regaining on the track there. That's going to be Rick Evans in the 70 car as we go back here with the 44 of Isaiah Stevens and Brandon Osborne. And look out, we got Isaiah Stevens goes very wide on that corner, Jeff.
And the Brandon and Brandon show, they got split by the 44 there, but now look at that. Got Brandon Buggs up in the mix.
Yeah, Brandon Buggs is going to try and work his way on that 44 car, Crunchmobile. But up front, we got Fodoraro and Macedo quickly gaining some ground on P3 and 4 as they head into 3 and 4 here.
Yeah, look at the gap already between the two guys in the top.
Yeah.
Didn't take them long at all.
One thing to be aware of, too, that I forgot to mention in 1 and 2, and Jeff, if you want to stay on board with one of these guys as we go through 1 and 2, I'll kind of show you.
All right, we'll ride on board with Rucci.
Bounce around. It gets very, very bouncy on that bottom line. So much so it's almost like a wheel hop. You could almost hop up a lane. So 1 and 2 is very, very bouncy. I don't know if you guys saw it there in Rucci's cam here. 3 and 4 is good. You can get all the way down to 3 and 4. Lots of grip down there. But yeah, 1 and 2, you almost want to go in high and then go down low on exit to get a good angle on those bumps in 1 and 2 because it can get a little squirrely.
How about Robert Bearder? Look at that. He's all the way up into the 11th position right now. Right on the back heels of the 81 and the 89 of James Hilton after starting in the back there. So he's starting to charge to the front. But Osborne up to 8th now.
He's going to be racing Jason Lance here. Look at Charles Gray up there. He's going to be P4. Charles Gray with Zachary Guzman.
Yeah, let's talk about Zachary Guzman running P5 right now.
Little Guzzy in that pink Taylor Swift, whatever it was. What is it? The Taylor
Moon.
Taylor Moon. Thank you.
Taylor Swift and Sailor Moon together.
Stupidest car, Guzzy. Get rid of that. I like it. But he's following Charles Gray here. Charles Gray wasn't racing with us Monday night, but it doesn't look like he needed the practice because he's in P4 right now, looking very strong as he's working on Rucci. But Part of you wonders. A lot of these guys are pushing real early. They're going to start burning their stuff up, and then you're going to see guys like Brandon Osborne, Bay Area Bugs, Isaiah Stevens, Jason Lance. They're going to start to pounce on that because they're not
wide back there. Right around the 81. They were 3 wide getting off of turn number 2. Sorry to step on you there, Ryan. But I was like, oh man, this could be bad. But they figured it out.
If there's battles, you interrupt me, man, and I'll do the same.
And Steinhoff on the outside of the 81. These two always seem to be racing next to each other.
Yeah, Bugs is going to want to either make a pass here, decide what to do, but Macedo on an island out front.
He definitely is, but right around here, man, it is getting busy around the 4th, 5th position. Charles Gray and Guzman.
Is that Jeff Spells up there?
That is indeed Jeff Spells in the 6th position right now. After starting 16th, he's up to 6th.
Oh, boy, Jeff.
I'm telling you what, the Spells brothers they have found some speed this season.
It's about dang time. No, I'm just joking, you guys.
Look at that. He pulled on the 80 car.
Look at that.
Very nicely done.
I think the 80 car had to let out of the gas there out of the corner. He got some bumps there. That's why you saw Spells pull away. But you got Charles Gray putting a little bit of pressure here on Zachary Guzman. He's going to get right into his mirror, make him a little bit nervous, and he's going to try and pounce on a mistake.
He's watching right back here, the 22 of Alex Reno and the 88 of Wes Graham. They were battling pretty good there. After Wes got involved in that early accident, he is moving his way forward here, battling for 15th. And I'm telling you what, look at the 67. He's gaining on the 25.
That he is.
Macedo just can't seem to get that second gap on him. I think he's struggling with the car down in 1 and 2. You can see the difference in speed between the 67 and the 25.
This run, though. Great run here by Favignano. He's able to close that gap off of 2. You saw Macedo there go a little wide out of the corner. He wasn't able to stay on the throttle as much coming out of 2. And look at that. Favignano right up on him, Jeff.
And this is where Favignano was faster in 1 and 2. We'll see if he's able to get a pass here, set him up. But if you're the 67 right now, you know what? You got a lot of racing to go. You might as well just kind of apply the pressure on the back of the 25 here and make him burn his stuff up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things. If I was Favignano, I would just try and save my tires as best I can, make him burn them up a bit, and just wait to pounce. But look at this battle back here. You're right, Jeff. Way to change the channel. We got Bay Area Bugs in the mix with Robert Bearder in the Wendy's car. Who's in the Wendy's car? That's Barkman?
Barkman, yep. Scott Barkman. And that's the 88 of Graham there at the bottom of the 81. It's going to be 3 wide, man. He thought about it, and he jumped out of the throttle there.
Good choices.
22 of Reno right around him. And there's Joel Brown making his push forward again after that earlier incident.
They're trying to make their way around the 22 car. But look at this. We got a drag race down the front stretch here between Wes Graham and Robert Bearder. And Bugs right on them. And it's going to be who can get the better exit out of this corner. It looks like Bearder's got some speed on that top line.
I gotta say that and the 59 is Steinhoff involved in that one. That's gonna be Dan. He's following all the way back. Yeah, Jeff Spells in the 59. Caution. No caution.
Damn, no caution.
Yep, no caution. I guess they were able to keep it on the bottom there, but he's gonna bring it down to pit road. What a tough break for the 13. I mean, that was a fantastic run he was having there too.
I think he just he didn't get out of the throttle enough out of 2. I was talking about those bumps earlier. I think you got to let out of the throttle. If you're not able to make it, you got to let out. But I don't think he did, and he smacked that wall, and he took someone with him. I think that was Steinhoff, was it not?
Yeah. I was just going to get to the 59, but he had disappeared there. I don't know where he's at now on the track. There he is on the track. He's still out there. So they're able to get it going again. Haven't lost a lap. Still on the lead lap there in 21st.
Oh, Nick Sargent with a lot of damage there.
Yeah, that was from earlier, but I thought he was going to fix it. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he wants to save that for later.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, one of the things with this track and iRacing cautions is there's such a big infield there. Like if you look to the right of that white line, if there's cars below that white line, iRacing goes, yeah, you guys are fine, and they won't throw a caution. It's only if there's stopped cars on the track, slow cars on the track, that iRacing will throw a caution. So once those guys go down there and are wrecking, it's whatever for the rest of the race. So that's why we didn't see a caution.
Watching the 80 of Brandon Osborne and Jason Lance and Guzman, they have a good battle happening right here. And Guzman using the bottom of 3 and 4 there. And he's able to get up next to the 86. Not that time by, though.
I wish I would have talked to one of the drivers to see what the estimated laps on for fuel. I know, I think we ran 54 laps, no, 64 laps, something like that on fuel. We ran quite a lot.
Isaiah Stevens at the bottom of the 89 of James Hilton into turn number 3. And a nice run for James Hilton tonight. You know, he's had an up and down season for sure. He's had some tracks where he's really good at, and some he just runs in the back. But right here, running in 9th, so a top 10 running for the 89. And Scott Barkman. What can you say about Scott other than he definitely knows how to get around these tracks, and here he is in the top 10.
Battle for 1 and 2 right now is pretty close. They're like, I saw that. I was watching the ticker there, Jeff. They were down to 0.08 of a second. He was like right on them.
It's like what we saw earlier. Favignano, I think he's just kind of toying with a 25. You know, hey, burn your stuff up so I can get by you in the next 10 laps.
Yeah, he would definitely like pole position in case any of those cautions come out. That's for sure.
Man, but look at the difference between the gap of Favignano and Macedo. And then you look from there on back from those guys back to Rucci. That's a pretty good amount. And then you have Gray and then Osborne at the line.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how the tires go. I mean, we're in tire fall off territory right now, and this is when you'll see the benefit of saving tires versus guys that have just been pushing it flat out the whole time. You'll start to see the guys that have been saving it slowly creep their way up to those different packs as it's almost kind of average lap times. You'll see their average lap time is a little bit better than the top guys.
Watching these two here, it's really close now. Nice battle here for the lead. And the 25 Macedo trying to hold off the 67 to Favignano, but man, Favignano is fast. He was running a 32.330 to Macedo's 32.338 that time by, so a little quicker. And he is the fastest on the track right now.
Wes Graham able to make a pass on Scott Barkman there, Jeff, in 9th and 10th. As we got some racing going on back here. 81 of Bugs. Passing Barkman as well.
And I think that's what he wanted. I think he needed to get by that big group of cars that had happened.
I think that's what I was saying. I think you're seeing the benefit of the tire savings. I think both Graham and Bugs were saving their tires as they're able to make their way up a couple positions there. And I think they're going to go behind each other and try to catch the next pack.
Tires being the biggest thing in this race, as you said at the beginning of the broadcast, and now we're starting to see that happening. So, yep. And that's the nice thing about running on Monday nights. You can get a feel for the track and what the tires are doing and what you can expect, and then go, hey, you know what? Maybe I burned my stuff up a little too early, so I'm going to utilize, tire conservation and wait a little longer.
Yep. And you can also see the flip side. Like, you can say, oh, I saved too much tire and I just ran out of time. So I think looking at guys like Graham and Bugs there, I think they're kind of doing a bit of both. I think they're wanting to stay in good position, but they're going to want to they're saving their tires, and they're going to start to reel in Stevens and Guzman here shortly. We should I'll pay attention to those lap times and those intervals.
Well, Ryan, you had talked about the clouds that would be moving in, and it looks like that was the case. And the sun's starting to go down a little bit there in turns 1 and 2, so the track has dropped by 1 degree, but here we're under cloud cover in 3 and 4.
You're gonna like that as a driver. Yep, that's just an instant. You're getting a little bit more grip now, which is quite nice. As you see these two drivers, they're just gonna stick together here. Bugs is perfectly happy to stay behind Wes as they're going to try to keep working their way up to catch Isaiah Stevens and Zachary Guzman in 7th and 8th position.
You just hear the difference, but man, yeah, the 81 faster in 3 and 4, and I think he's going to be challenging him here.
Well, he might be.
Kind of funny because these two are next to each other, and then just in front of them, you got 2 cars working together. How much you think that draft really matters right now?
A little bit. I think it's not like it's a super speedway where if you lose the draft you're completely out of it. I think it's more tires than draft, to be honest with you. I think obviously clean air is good. It'll keep your water temps down. So if you're directly behind somebody, you'll want to get some clean air, but it's not the end of the world.
Talk about a driver that knows how to save tires. That's the 28 of Matt Rucci, and he definitely knows how to get it done. And watch here in the next 10 laps or so, you'll see him slowly but surely creep in on the leaders. That's Rucci bot booting up. Yeah. That's what he does.
He preloaded the racestrategy.exe into his brain. So he's very good at tire saving. He knows what to do here. And I think you're right, Jeff. I pay attention to his gap timer right now. You see it just drop by 0.1 of a second there as he's coming out of 2. So
watching how he's attacking the track here in 3 and 4, and we'll compare that to the other guys. He is rolling out of the throttle, pretty much what we saw Brandon Osborne during qualifying, but here, look, he's not picking up the throttle back until the middle of the track there and then driving really straight off the corner there. So I'm going to watch, we're going to ride on board with Favignano just in front of him here, and we'll see the difference in 3 and 4 of how he's running it. But you can see the 67's taking the midline here compared to Macedo on the bottom of 1 and 2, down by those bumps. So here we go down into 3, and it looks like Favignano is lifting earlier than Matt Rucci.
We got some good racing going on here between Joel Brown and Jeffrey Spells and James Hilton. They're going to be side by side back here. Jeff, sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. Jeff Spells not for position. That car had that spin earlier, so he's lap traffic right now. But the 89, the 43, and 22, yep, they are for position.
Saw some movement on our timing screen.
Oh, yeah, I was looking for the red and the green.
Yeah, I just see people moving up and down positions. Nice battle there between Joel Brown and James Hilton. As Joel Brown using Jeffrey Spells as a... Oh, no, he wasn't... Yeah, he's using him as a bit of a pick there.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the 81 getting the pass on the 88 there. Sorry, we were watching all the action out front and with Rucci and explaining that. And Brandon Bugs was able to get by the 88 of Graham. That'll put him in the 9th position.
All right, Bugs showing some good pace there. So we're headed into we're rounding lap 36 here. And we're going to see these guys. I think it's going to be really interesting to see who stays out and who keeps going. Because a few guys stayed out long on Monday trying to get some position there.
Well, I don't know if you saw what I just saw there, but we have lap traffic, and the leaders are catching it pretty quick. So Favignano now dropping to a 0.42 behind the 25. We'll see how lap traffic, see how much of a factor it is.
Guys are usually pretty good at getting out of the way, but sometimes you'll get guys that are just in their own zone and they might not know that the leaders are behind them.
Hey, they don't have to. They want to fight for that. You want to stay on the lead lap, and that's Robert Webb in the 91. They're catching him pretty quick. And then in front of him, you got, I believe that is going to be, is that Steinhoff from the earlier spin? Rick Evans in the 70. And then Jeffrey Spells, we already saw him, and then Aaron Beaver. So, yeah, they are catching them. If you look here on the blimp camera, you'll see what I'm talking about. So there's the leader right there, and then there's Robert Webb right there getting into turn 1.
Bugs closing in on Zachary Guzman for P8.
And he's going to take it. Looks like.
He's going to take it. And Zachary Guzman, you know he's going, not like this. Not like this, Bugs. And Wes is right behind him. And again, I think Zachary Guzman, little Guzzy, tore up his tires a little too fast as he goes wide, and Bugs and Graham are going to be able to get him here.
I don't know. I was watching earlier. Like, yeah, I think he's just going to give him the position there. But earlier, in those last two corners, the 26 was just, he's running the top lane, and he was having some speed over the 81 and 88 at that point. But I think now he's just going to kind of give it up all in line.
Yeah. And these two drivers.
Oh, buddy. I told you. Lap traffic is going to matter here, and man, it happened in a blink of an eye because they're there. And check it out. The 67 going to jump on the opportunity, and behind them, Matt Rucci is now in the mix.
Look out. That is Robert Webb. He goes to the high line as he lets the leaders by. And Favignano all over Dylan Macedo.
Yeah, and Favignano was picking up the throttle a lot earlier than the 25 there, ever so slightly. But Matt Rucci was letting off into the corner much later, letting the car roll to the center, and then picking the throttle up a lot more. And with the 67, he's doing that. But man, by getting back in the gas earlier, you're using those tires up a lot more. And this is what he wants to see right now, is these two battling.
Absolutely. Rucci gaining on P1 and 2. He's right there with them as he's going to use the draft there of, I believe that's Aaron Beaver.
Yeah, Aaron Beaver wanted to stay on the lead lap. I don't think it's going to be able to happen this time by. He's going to give those positions up there, but he's not laying down. I've raced Aaron Beaver before. He's definitely a fantastic driver, and he's not one that's just like, hey, I'm going to move out of your way, let you go by. He's here to win too, so he knows how important it is to stay on the lead lap right now.
Aaron Beaver's an awesome driver, awesome dude. His biggest enemy, Jeff, his internet service provider.
Yep.
That is the story of that guy's racing career. He just can't seem to get a good race in without packet loss and drop connection and all sorts of things. So,
well, this is interesting because the 25 Macedo that time by is running the top of the track. I don't know if he's trying to take away his lane to the 97, but Aaron Beaver was able to get by them both, and he stays on the lead lap.
Let me see what tires Aaron Beaver has. He might have fresher tires, Jeff. That's why he's able to get a little... Yeah, he does. He's on fresh tires. He's only on 11 laps, so that's why he's got some pace on there.
Okay.
But for those who don't know, this is fixed setup racing, spec racing. So all these guys are driving the identical car, the identical performance, everything. You can change a little bit in terms of brake bias and steering ratio, but that's it. So, which is kind of cool. So what you're seeing is just pure skill versus skill here. So there's no advantages for guys that are just really good at setting up the car. It's all just pure driver skill.
And Matt Rucci has made it to the back bumper of the 67. We knew it was going to happen, but here it is.
You even see the interval dropping across the field there, Jeff. Brandon Osborne only 3.6 seconds behind him. Charles Gray right there with him. And then even look at Bugs. His is now down to 7 seconds behind the leader. So that whole pack is dropping. So you're seeing kind of the downfall of P1 and P2 and how hard they were pushing there. Yeah, they got out early and they had a good gap on them, but it's starting to fall.
Watching right here, Matt Rucci is challenging that position. He used the 6 as a pick, and it's going to work. Rucci's going to pick up the second position there on the 67.
You called that one, Jeff. You saw Rucci just on an island, just tire saving.
Oh, man. He knows how to do it.
Waiting.
Very, very, very good at that.
Yeah.
And the difference was watching the onboard, watching how he was getting in. He was getting out of the gas late. He's letting the car roll so much more than the 67 was. 67 was picking it up so much earlier, and that little bit is what makes the difference.
Just smart strategy there by Matt Rucci. It's all about the tires at the end. So he's gonna be trying to get P1 here from Macedo right before everyone starts to come down for pits. You know, I think they're going to try and make this a one-stop race. They're going to try and cut this race in half. So you'll probably see around, pit window might be lap 60 to 65 is my guess.
And that's going to be an interesting thing because, I mean, green flag pit stops, you're this late into the season, you have got to be on your marks. You have got to get a perfect stop. No messing around. That's Nick Sargent back there, unfortunately. He had to cut. He got involved in that accident, and he had to get his car taken care of. He's on new tires now, and he got that fast repair there, but he is definitely battling the leaders.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're like for fuel for the pit stop. We're coming up shortly to that window. I wish I would have known. I should. I'm gonna message Tony here and see if he knows.
Brandon Osborne on pit road. Couple drivers on pit road. So you've got Brandon Osborne, the 80, short pitting right now, lap 50. And he's down and away. Looks like a pretty standard pit for the 80 car. We're waiting to see who's going to come down on pit road first. Is it going to be Macedo? It's going to be Rucci. I think it's going to be Fodorero, and I am correct about that one because he would have to at that point. So Leo, he came down pit road as well. It's going to be hard to keep an eye on everyone here, guys, but we're going to do the best we can. So all those guys were on pit road earlier. Robert
Might
Beardo.
be a two-stop race.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a two-stop. But here's Dylan Macedo trying to hold off Rucci. Who's going to come down on pit road first? In my opinion, you know Rucci's got the tires. He's got the speed. You might as well come down now. I think if you let Rucci by like this, now you're going to put yourself in a bad position. So I would bring my car down pit road like now if I was the 25. He's going to battle on the outside.
He's going to battle him. Ooh, keeps it out of the wall there. Nice driving there by Macedo. That was pretty close. Great driving there by Macedo. Way to defend on Matt Rucci.
And see, I was watching here. The 81 was near Wes Graham, but now, well, Wes is back a little further there, but these guys are going to run it out probably as long as they possibly can before they come down pit road.
Oh yeah, if you're saving your tires, you're gonna run this thing out. I expect Rucci to actually stay out there a little bit longer.
This is for the lead right here. These two right here battling it out this late with old tires. And it just goes to show what kind of driver Dylan Macedo is here. You think Rucci bot is you know, something to watch. But the 25 of Macedo, man, what an incredible driver. And holding off the 28 as long as he possibly can here before he has to come down pit road.
This is very impressive here by Macedo. Way to hold off Matt Rucci. But Rucci makes the pass. And now
I don't know.
Oh, you think he's going to cross? Oh,
he is.
Yeah, he is.
Dylan's going to try a crossover move on the 28. Yeah, I think it's time to come down pit road. I'm watching the top 10 right now to see if anybody else is coming down. Doesn't seem to be at the moment. So some pit strategy here, like you said, was going to happen, is starting to. Saw guys come down pit road early. That was the 80 of Brandon Osborne. I think that's a good idea to come down, get fresh tires, get a good stop, and just get back into the swing of things.
Fodorero as well. He came down too.
The 4 of Robert Bearder there. He's on new tires. He came down pit road, so he is trying to get his lap back here on these two. I don't think that's going to be much of a fight. Aaron Beaver, I believe he's, nope, he's just falling back. I thought he was coming down pit road that time, but he wasn't. And there's Fodorero, the 67. He's already come down pit road, so he's scored 12th right now. And he's going to get by Macedo, and now he's going to try to get by the 28 of Rucci, and I think he's going to be able to do that no problem.
Oh, yeah. You feel like Superman on these tires. You got fresh tires, and these guys are on 54-lap tires. He's going to be passing them real quick.
Oh, yeah.
There he goes.
Like he's standing still there.
Yeah, you feel like a badass on fresh tires.
And that'll be the 81 of Bugs up to P5 right now. Jason Lance, look at Charles Gray in third. These guys are just waiting and waiting, but here comes the 80 car. You know, he came down pit road. He scored 13th right now, 1 lap down, but he is almost to the leaders. And man, what a difference those tires make. Those guys are able to catch them pretty fast.
Wes Graham in pit road right now. He's getting tires, but we got almost everybody in the top 10 is still out on their first set of tires.
Yep, Wes coming down right now to his stall. We'll see how his stop ends up. He gets down there in his pit stall right where you want to be. Now, with fixed racing and the way this works here, the best you get into that stall and as quick as possible and in the best position as possible matters when it comes to the time it takes to get 4 tires and fuel. And he's down and away.
I'm going to take a page out of Wes's book. He's going to get himself some four new feel goods on there.
And digital Sunoco racing fuel, as Joe would say. Joel Brown down in his box. Slides the car to the... But a really good stop there.
So Jeff Macedo in there as well. He's in pit road.
So Dylan Macedo getting work done to his car. Here shortly. We'll see if Brown gets out before he gets down to his pit stall. Looks like that will happen. Macedo, your pole sitter. Man, yeah, he slid in his box a little bit there, a little too much. We'll see how he comes off the pit road compared to everybody else, but that's going to put Rucci at the top right now, and Rucci has not come down pit road yet.
He's just entering right now.
All right.
The top 4 drivers are entering. Rucci, Gray, Lance, and Bugs. All coming down.
It was about time for these guys. And now we'll keep an eye out how everything cycles out here. Great stop for the 28. Maybe a little slow getting into his box there. A little slower, but not by much.
The other thing that you guys don't see is you got to watch your speed limit on pit road. If you go 1 or 2 miles an hour over that speed limit for too long, you will get a penalty. And it is detrimental to your race. So it is... very tense moments when you're driving down pit road.
So that's going to put Leonard Fodorero as your leader. And behind him, what did I talk about at the start of this broadcast?
You're not wrong. Brandon Osborne out there. But
he's really good at pit strategy.
He is very good at pit strategy. He is on... It's going to be interesting because he's... they're on older tires. Both him and Fodorero, they got about 12, 13 laps each on those tires.
I think he just wanted to have as much of a gap on those guys as possible and just drive the heck out of it for this next stint.
But I think they're banking on another stop this race, which is going to happen. So,
oh yeah,
I think Osborne made a good call there and same with Fodorero, is come down a little bit early. There's no sense in running these tires out. Get some position on these guys because we're going to all be pitting again.
Watching this battle here for 6th between Brandon Bugs and Wes Graham. They both came down pit road, so they both have Superman tires right now, and Charles Gray is well out front in 5th. And let's talk about Charles. That's a great run. Good decision to come down pit road when he did. Started 11th. He's been up to 2nd today, but right now running P5.
Yep, Charles Gray out there. He's on fresh tires, though, as well. So, really, they're just going to be trying to... All these guys in kind of the midfield here between positions 3 and 7 are going to be trying to look at reeling in Fodorero and Osborne as they're going to have the tire advantage.
Yeah, these guys are running pretty much flat out right now, especially Wes. Wes did not lift at all in 1 and 2 right there.
Hey, Jeff.
Yep.
I think, do you know what time it is?
I think it's time we can get loud a little bit.
I think we get loud.
Let's do it. loud. I mean, you wanted to get loud. We got loud there.
I don't have any volume, so it's all the same to me.
Oh, no, that one blows your eardrums off.
Let's get loud. Dancing. There's some racing going on there. Well, these cameras look so good. Shout out to Jeff. And who's it, D-Beard? D-Beard, yes. The Beard?
The Beard. All right, enough of those loud ones, man. Woof. Blow my eardrums off tonight.
They look so good.
They do look good, though. And that's the 4 of Robert Bearder having some connection issues. He was kind of blinking in and out behind the 67. So here's your leader right now, and then Brandon Osborne's right there, almost at the stripe, and he's on the move.
Yep, their tires are waking up. They're nice and warm, and they're going to be starting to push them. Osborne getting a lot of speed here through 1 and 2. It's all about that exit speed.
I don't know why this car it's so loud inside, or it was so loud on the other ones, but it's really quiet on the interiors on that one. That's strange. Maybe my ears are just haven't bounced back yet. That's
you put another
possible.
muffler on it. You put a silencer on it. All right. Well, Twitch chat. We're about just over halfway through this race. Have your predictions changed? Type in chat who you think is going to walk away with this.
Man, look at the difference here, though. This is the difference between coming down pit road whenever Osborne did and Rucci. I mean, Rucci is on a rail right now towards the 80.
Oh, yeah. Yep, there's those fresh tires. See you later.
And it's possible, the 80 just wanted to see what would work.
It's a good strategy, and I think he just easily let him by there. He's like, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to burn up stuff trying to defend the inevitable. I'm just going to let you by, and I'm just going to save my tires as best I can.
And you think that, so that's probably exactly what the 80's doing right now, saving up everything he possibly can for this run. But man, it's going to be tough to hold off these guys that are on the way, and especially the 25 of Dylan Macedo, which is in the mix right behind the 80 car.
Hey, look at Wes and Graham, or sorry, Wes and Graham, Wes and Bugs, P6 and 7. They were down in 9th and 10th, and they're clawing their way back up the field, and they're trying their best to catch Charles Gray there, and they have the tire advantage on Gray. Actually, no, they don't. Excuse me, they do not.
I'm watching here the 44 of Isaiah Stevens having a really good run tonight. Started 21st, and right now he's running P8 up in the top 10. So good to see Isaiah having a good night. Behind him, Jason Lance. Those are both for position 8 and 9.
Joel Brown back into the top 10. Good recovery from the Golden Flow himself. Good recovery there from that lap 1 crash that sent him all the way back to the field and made him use his fast repair. So good to see him bounce back up there. He's showing some great pace here.
What a shame, though. I mean, like, a track like this that you need that track position, and you knew the green flag run would be coming. That's got to hurt a little bit when we're starting P2.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, you can only blame himself on that one. He just got on the throttle a little too early out of 4.
There's
But
Macedo.
it happens. Way to get back up there. Yeah, Macedo and Osborne.
And Macedo got by Osborne, no problem there. Osborne just going to be like, hey, have at it, man. So next up on the list, that's going to be the 87 of Charles Gray. And then you have Brandon Buggs right behind them. 59 of Steinhoff is still currently shown in 18th, 1 lap down. So currently 14 cars on the lead lap, and Kyle Cleveland is the last car on the lead lap right now. So Foderaro's got a 2-second lead on Rucci right now, but Rucci is eating into it ever so slightly.
Yeah, I expect in a couple more laps we'll see him right on his bumper.
Starting 6th tonight. He's been up to the lead. right now scored in P2. And Macedo's right behind him, but he's still got a little ways to go. So Rucci's right here getting into turn 1, and then Macedo's right here getting into turn 1. So he is gaining on him ever so slightly. Let's see the difference between Rucci and how he's running the track and, say, the 80 of Osborne. So Rucci still conserving quite a bit there. Now getting into the throttle just at the exit of the corner. I mean, granted, you know, there's a car on the outside of him there. But I want to see how he attacks turn 1 and 2 here. And I believe he's going to be running the middle lane. A lot of those guys are on the middle lane to stay out of the bumps. Okay, so he's picking the throttle up about halfway through there. And right on board with Osborne here. I want to see how he's getting down into turn 3. So he's really out of the gas there. Slowly picking it up all the way down to the bottom. Two different strategies here. But Osborne is definitely saving quite a bit. But you think it'll be enough? That's the question, if this thing goes green all the way.
Comes down to that late race pit. And who makes the right call?
I can tell you right now, the 67 does not want to deal with lap traffic when he has Rucci that close now. He's cut into less than a second of the gap between the 67 and the 28. And Dylan Macedo's gained about a second.
Makes his way through that lap traffic, no problem. As we're looking at the battle here between, that's not for position, that's Bugs working on lap traffic there of 59 of Steinhoff.
It'll be interesting to see if he's going to let him go by this time by, but I think the 81's had enough of it. He's right all over his back bumper saying, hey, man, just
get out of my way.
Get out of my way. You're taking my lane away from me a little bit here. I'm trying to get by. It looks like that won't be a problem at all coming to the line here, but man, even side drafting, I'm not sure what that's about.
Yeah, I don't know
I understand that maybe it's fun to race another driver, but right now, like,
you're a lap car down.
You're hurting.
You're hurting him.
Especially if you're trying to side draft and all that. That's not good. All right, Foderero's got his mirror full of the 28, but the 28's dealing with lap traffic right now, and it pushed him back into a plus 1 second there. Well, now it kind of dived down a little bit more further there, but the 21 held up the 28 quite a bit. And it's no like problem. We're not saying like, hey, you know, the 21 should have done this or, you know, get out of their way. It's just part of racing lap traffic on a long green flag run. And Rucci knows how to do it. You just got to be patient.
Yep, there's no free passes. Like, you still got to get around them. And there's no obligation for those lap cars to get out of your way or to do anything. And there's no blue flags.
You know, one of those drivers that did not have a good start to their, well, after having a good start to the race and things have gone sideways, is Clint Spells in that 6 car. After having all that speed, he's shown 21st 1 lap down. Trying to see who that is behind those guys. I think that's Gage Bookman in 18th. Yep, that's who that is. And then Graham. 81 having a little bit of a
connection issues.
Yeah, connection issue. And he is not racing the 97 for a position here, so I would imagine he does not want to be held up by him by any means.
No, I think he went wide on 1 and 2 there because of his connection issues.
Yep. And that's what you would want to do in that position. You know, hey, I'm having a connection issue. Something doesn't make sense. You see that red flashing on your little information screen there on iRacing, and hey, I'll go to the outside, stay away from another car because you don't want to pop back in and be into another car.
And that lap car ahead of him, Aaron Beaver, is on fresher tires, so he is going to have a bit more pace than Bugs will.
Jason Lance in P8 right now. I'm watching those lap times between Favignano and Rucci, and Rucci is running a 32.374, so to the 4.87. So Rucci considerably faster right now than Favignano, but it's hard to say who's really saving.
Charles Gray fast though. He's one of the faster cars out there right now with a 32.29. Charles Gray's got some speed.
Yeah, I was watching that earlier, and I think a lot of that is because of just, I don't know, he pit right at the perfect time, and we're kind of in the middle of this run, so it's kind of hard. You can see who saved and who didn't.
Yeah, Charles Gray's kind of got the benefit of right now. He's been on an island for a little bit. He's just been passing lap traffic, but he hasn't really been fighting anyone for position, so which is quite nice because you can just get into a groove and really get a feel for how you want to save tires and how you want to drive the car to the end. And
well, I can tell you. I can tell you, the 6 car is putting the Ryan Newman clinic on the 67 right now. He is not letting him by.
6 car Clint Spells.
And see, Rucci is almost to him there, and this is what Dylan Macedo wants to see. He wants to see those guys racing hard, so they'll fall back even further to them. And that's Macedo in the picture right at the line now. Ooh, almost a little contact there between the 67 and the 6.
Oh, man.
I would imagine the 67 a little, hey, get out of my way, I'm the leader. But you got to realize, the 6 has got speed as well all night. And he just kind of got caught into a bad situation there, and he's racing to be on the lead lap. So I can't blame the 6 car here at all.
Yeah, and even if you're a lap down, you're still racing to try and get a lucky dog position. If a caution does come out, you want to get back on that lead lap and get a lucky dog position. So, you see guys that are getting lapped or in the back of the field, they're still very much racing.
Oh man, the 28 is there. This is now spicing up a little bit here. So you get down to turn 3, the 28 with a lot of speed. He's going to run the top.
It'll be interesting to see what Rucci does here. He tries to make a play to pass him. I think he's just going to kind of stay behind him, maybe force a mistake out of Favignano.
A mistake, and also to maybe gauge how he's driving the track and the difference that he can make up. He knows he can catch him, especially in 1 and 2. He's been getting through 1 and 2 so much better than the 67. But the 67 is holding pace, especially in 3 and 4. And there's the 28 now going to the very bottom instead of the top of the track that time by. So maybe he's running out of patience. Maybe he's like, maybe it's time to go.
Oh, never mind. I think he's pushing it. Yeah, he is. He's going to try and set him up here in 1 and 2. Going to go high, and he's probably going to cut down low to that white line, perhaps. No, they're going to stay middle line.
Boy, they really don't want anything to do with those bumps at the bottom of 1 and 2.
No, they're pretty unpredictable sometimes. You can get down there. You just got to be. It's got to be a really good entry. If you go down too early, you're gonna slide and push yourself up the track. But if you do like a high in, low out, then you're good. It's just making sure, but it's sketchy, so you got to make sure you get the right entry. But it's just safer to stay in that middle line.
Well, I can tell you, it's really good battle here. And keep in mind, these are like guys that are up at the top of the points. So Favignano needs a good run here, and he definitely would love to get a win.
Favignano had a terrible exit out of 2, and Rucci pounces on him. Great run and great pass.
They're coming down pit road.
Oh, they're coming to the pits. Woo!
Wow, okay. I saw the 6, and I was like, man, where'd the 6 get a run like that? Here comes the 80 as well. It's Brandon Osborne. He knows they're on pit road. The next one that should come is Charles Gray and Brandon Buggs. They are not. They will stay out.
Yeah, they're going to come in next lap, I would imagine.
Favignano down. Oh, man, the 59 Steinhoff. Oh, forgot they can do that on pit road.
I was going to say, it'd be so cool if they had collisions in pit lane, but for obvious reasons, they don't.
They had to actually keep an eye on that.
It would be a mess.
Let's see who's going to go pit road first. And it's going to be the 28, not by a whole lot there. And now it's time to give it hell. So the leader right now, Dylan Macedo. Sorry, Charles Gray now, because Brandon Bugs staying out. And Dylan Macedo's on pit road. Wes staying out as well. And this is what they have to do. It comes down to strategy. You have got to be on your game here to get it done. But here's Charles Gray leading the race, and he has to make one more stop.
Yeah, I don't think these guys have enough to make it to the end. They're going to have to come down for another pit stop.
And here goes Brandon Bugs to the lead. So he's going to try to do something different than these guys. And honestly, if you want to win this race, you're going to have to do it. He wants to stay out as long as he possibly can, hope for a caution. In the next 10 laps or so, because if in the next 10 laps, guys are going to be wanting to come down pit road for fresh tires for the final restart, and maybe that's something that's in his head there, because he's not showing any signs of coming down pit road yet.
They got 30 laps left, and Bugs is on 35 laps on his tires, so he'd be running the tires 65 laps. I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if he'll have enough to make it to the end.
I think he just wants to just run it as long as he possibly can. Just to say, hey, you know what? You think you have me figured out? Nope. And the 80 is not for position right here. 80 is trying to get his lap back, and he will down into turn 3. That will not be a challenge. He goes blitzing on by.
If there's a late race caution, though, those guys that run it out are going to be laughing.
Yep, and those are the ones that you got to keep an eye on, because they're the ones that's what matters. And Favignano and the 20 at Arucci are so close. This is exactly what you want to see. These two need to be battling all the way around the track right now for 4th and 5th. So Isaiah Stevens is scored 4th, and Wes Graham in 3rd. Jason Lance and then Brandon Bugs all the way up in the front.
Isaiah Stevens up there as well in 4th, and they're all on the kind of the same strategy right now. Similar,
run it as long as you possibly can and hope for a caution.
They all got about the same amount of laps on tires, except for Graham, who has 39 compared to Bugs' 38.
Well, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on the 28 of Rucci. We're going to go on board with him. And man, yeah, look at the difference in speed between him and the 6 car. The difference between new tires and old tires. But Rucci has to be careful here. You don't want to be running too hard. You still got a lot of racing to go, and you know the 67 is the one you want to beat.
With only about 27 laps here, I think he's okay to push as hard as he wants right till the end.
But he's not. Listen to the engine. He's really conserving it.
Well, there you go.
It's strange. That's what I was like. It's strange. I would imagine he'd be wide open right now all the way around this track. He is definitely not. He's taking it easy.
He knows something we don't.
Yep.
If I was him, I'd be just pushing like hell.
Maybe it's just that different between the 10 lap difference. I don't know. But man, look at the difference between old tires and new. And
see you later.
Even taking it easy, because watch, he's going to jump out of the throttle right here and pick it up right in the middle. Compared to the leader, Brandon Bugs, he's about to get down into turn 3. Look at the difference here. Out of the gas there, and then...
Oh, yeah, look at those RPMs. He's all the way down to 700.
And 165 miles an hour. And Matt Rucci, we'll watch what the speed is getting down into the corner.
I mean, Bugs and Graham doing a hell of a job driving those cars around. Same with Jason Lance and Isaiah Stevens. They're keeping decent pace, all things considered.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how this is working, because this has pushed Matt Rucci and Favignano in 4th and 5th. They've got a lot of cars they got to pass still, and they're on the other side of the track. This might be a great strategy to win the race for the 81.
They might be able to make it to the end. Again, I wish I knew. But that makes it exciting, I guess, is the unknown. Will they be able to push it all the way? They're 42 laps in. Jason Lance is in pit lane right now.
So 3rd place is on pit road, so they do have to make another stop.
Isaiah Stevens as well. So it's just Wes and Bugs out there on old tires in the front.
But he's not going to go until he has to. It doesn't seem to be the case. And Graham...
If you see Favignano catch up to Graham and Bugs, You know those guys are going to be blocking like their lives depend on it. Making that car as wide as they can.
Yeah, I can't imagine them saving enough fuel to make it to the end here, but I'm not really sure what the fuel situation is. Sometimes guys have come down just for the tires more so than the fuel.
22 laps left.
It's not showing any signs of coming down pit road. Yeah, but like we said, we don't know what's going on with them. Fodderero up to third. He is still holding off Matt Rucci, and then Wes Graham is in turns 1 and 2, and Brandon Bugs on the backstretch. Look at this. He's got his hands full with all different cars right now.
Yeah, we did this on Monday. It was hilarious. We actually put our cars too wide to hold everybody up. It was great.
I think right now, he just hope you want to run this as far as you possibly can, and when you're hoping for a caution, if a caution does come out, and that'll set you up great for the end of this race, because you know those guys are all going to come down pit road and get fresh tires, because it makes that much of a difference.
Oh, it looks like there's a hot dog wrapper on the track. Better push the button caution.
And he's going down pit road this time.
Yeah, we'll see if this worked. I think he's probably going to lose some spots because of that extended run.
Wes Graham, he's going to stay out. Yeah, here comes the train now.
But those guys are able to push it as hard as they want once they come out of pit lane.
Cheerleader right now is Wes.
Yeah, Wes Graham's standing out.
And he's in a total different part of the track. He's entering 3 right now, and Fodderero is, oh, never mind. They're about to enter 3.
Yeah.
So it's probably time for Wes to come down pit road as well. And that was their strategy, was just hoping a caution came out.
It's Vegas, baby. You got to gamble. You got to roll the dice.
Well, it was fun for a while.
Yep.
But now it comes down to these two, and I'm telling you what, we got one heck of a show here to the end of this thing between the 67 and the 28. And Dylan Macedo's been slowly but surely creeping in on him as well. He's not racing anybody right now. He's just by himself coming off of turn 2. But he's in that perfect position you might want to be at. Wes Graham's still out on the track.
So when does the 88 come down for pit? But Fodderero and Rucci are battling each other, and they're going to be coming up to lap traffic here. They know that this is like, even though on the scoreboard it's not for the lead,
it's for the lead.
This is for the lead.
You're damn right. Look, oh, he thought about it. He thought about blocking.
Oh, they're going 3 wide into 3-4.
Woo. Matt Rucci, incredible run. Here comes a 67 for a crossover. Maybe if he can get there. He's going to try to set him up down into 1. Very even there in the middle lane. The 67 a little lower than the 28 that time by.
Wes Graham doing a hell of a job. He's actually keeping pace. Shockingly.
Yeah, he's only just slightly off of these two.
Yeah.
And he's about... Yeah, it's crazy how that's working out. I don't know. Wes still has to come down pit road, but I guess in his brain, he's like, what does he have to lose?
And I think he's thinking there's a lot of lap traffic out here. There's a lot of
caution could come out. It's not a bad idea.
The only thing that sucks is even if someone does crash and they go to the infield, the caution might not come out. So there he comes. He's coming down now.
Okay. And that will give Rucci the lead. There's Graham on pit road. Just to prove to you that that is actually happening. But these two are still going at it.
And you got Jason Lance there in front of them.
And this is exactly what the 67 wants. He wants the 86 to hold up the 28.
Oh, yeah. It is coming down to the tail end of this race. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Rucci? Is it going to be Fodderero? We don't know.
All I can say is Las Vegas has put on one heck of a show. A lot of good racing and close battles here all night in the top 10.
Big old green flag run, too.
What do you do here? Like, you know you got X amount of laps left. If you're the 67, you need to still save a little bit more to the end, or you just both go for it.
I don't know. I'm not those guys. I don't know. It's a bit of a chess game. It's almost like heads up poker. You're trying to read what the other guy is going to do.
And the drivers that are hoping and praying for a caution right now would be Dylan Macedo, and that 80 of Brandon Osborne was hoping for a caution as well, but that has not happened yet. So a lot more racing to go, and we haven't seen a lot of guys loss of control besides, the start of the race.
Wes Graham back out on the track. He is going to be the fastest guy on the track on fresh tires, so he's going to be making his way. He is a lap down, but you'll likely see him get back up into 7th position there if he can make his way around those cars. But at the front, great battle between two great drivers here. With just 11 laps left. 10 laps this time by.
11 laps, and we're going to get you caught up after those pit stops we just saw there on where everybody is right now. Matt Rucci started 6th today, and he's now the leader. Behind him, Leonard Fodorero starting 5th, and he's up to the 2nd position. He's had a nice day. He's led a lot of laps as well. Dylan Macedo is in 3rd, and then you have Brandon Osborne back there in 4th. Charles Gray all the way coming off of turn 2 right now. Started 11th. He's seen all the way up to 2nd. And now in P5, so a top 5 run for him. And then right behind him is Brandon Buggs, that 81 GG Luck car. Isaiah Stevens behind him. What an incredible run for this driver. 21st. He's been up to 4th, but right now he's in the top 10 and 7th, so a great run for him. And then you have Wes Graham in the 88 car. He started 4th. Hasn't been his day, and he tried the long... He threw the Hail Mary there towards the end. Joel Brown... He started 2nd, had that early spin on today. He's in the top 10 right now in 9th. And look at Alex Reno in a top 10 run after starting 14th.
Good drive by all the top 10 drivers, especially some that started at the back. Really hard to get a top 10 here at Vegas, so kudos to them getting back up there.
Man, these two are very even, and I thought that Rucci, once he got by Fodorero, he was going to just start hauling away. That has not happened.
I think it's going to be some fireworks right at the last lap, Jeff. I think Fodorero is just waiting here, and then he's going to try and set him up as best he can.
Look at him diamonding that corner. That was beautiful. Yeah. All right, let's see if he does it in 3 and 4 here. And, he's hoping that those lap cars are going to start messing with him, and it is. It's going to happen here in the next couple laps.
Yeah, might try for a good old pick and roll on the lap traffic. I was watching IndyCar last weekend at Texas. What an incredible finish that was. Last lap drag race down the front stretch for 0.2 of a second gap at the line. It was insane, and I have a little intuition we might see something similar here.
Yep. That was an incredible weekend of motorsports.
God, it was good.
It was real good all the way around. I enjoyed the race at Atlanta as well. Running out of time. 5 laps to go. And there's that 88 of Wes Graham on the new tires. He's going to try to get his lap back before that caution comes out. He's hoping for. It will. But yeah, this comes down to these two right here. Fodorero's got to do something different, but man, I think he has something for him. He's just waiting and waiting and waiting. We saw how close he got to the back bumper of Rucci earlier. by diamonding that corner better. But I don't know. Maybe Rucci's starting to just get that much more. Nah, he's trying something back there.
I mean, let's remember who we're dealing with. We're not dealing with a mere mortal. We're dealing with Matt Rucci, the robot. So it's going to, I don't know if your Favignano is like, what am I going to have to do here to pass him in 3 laps?
Ryan, look right in front of him. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars that you can see.
That's probably what's going to do it.
It's going to change it up. And if you're Rucci right now, you're saying, get the hell out of the way. It is time to go.
And we'll see if this lap traffic holds them up at all. Doesn't look like it so far. I don't know what car that is. That's the, I can't see.
That's the 11 car of Kyle Cleveland. And then Steinhoff right in front of him. And Cleveland going to get right out of the way there.
Favignano is on the mic going, hey, I'll give you $1. Hold this guy up.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's actually losing quite a bit of time there, Jeff. He's down back 0.61. There's a bit of a gap there between Rucci and Favignano.
Yeah, he was losing. But I think the 28's just, I mean, giving it everything she's got right now.
Yeah, Rucci's on the full send mode right now. No saving going on now. As fast as you can around this track. We're coming up soon to a white flag.
Yep, he really is increasing that. Now 1.5. What happened to Favignano here? He really got held up by the 11. Or I don't know what happened with that, but yeah, I mean, almost a 2-second gap now. White flag is in the air. Brought to you by Thrustmaster. Matt Rucci had to come in here tonight. He had to make a good points play to try to win this championship after missing those races. And he's going to do it tonight. Matt Rucci, your winner at Las Vegas.
Matt Rucci just took off from Favignano. Didn't even give him a chance. With 2 laps left, just said, see you later. Put his foot down. Had more tire than he was letting Favignano on, and he is the winner. At the, what is it, the Lady Luck 125.
Lady Luck 125. Driven by Thrustmaster. And here is everybody else getting across the line there and waiting for Rucci to come around and celebrate. Where you at, Rucci? You're around here somewhere. There he is. They're getting some congrats by other drivers. And he'll burn it down here. Coming to the line. Matt Rucci, the winner. Oh, that's a sweet burnout right there all the way to the side. That looked good. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. And he went too far forward, and now I have to change up the camera again. Thanks, Rucci. Making us work, man. Don't make us work. I don't want that.
Well, you know, Rucci and the Badger race, what is it? Badger Racing team is going to be celebrating in fake Vegas tonight at the fake strip clubs and the fake casinos. You know they're going to be living it up.
All right, race results. Here it is. Matt Rucci, the winner after starting 6th. Leonard Favignano in 2nd. 3rd to Dylan Macedo. 4th to Brandon Osborne after starting 20th. Incredible run there. 87 of Charles Gray will finish in 5th. 6th is Brandon Buggs with a top 10 run after starting 23rd. Isaiah Stevens, incredible run tonight in P7. P8 is Wes Graham. Joel Brown in 9th. In the top 10, Alex Reno. We'll be back shortly with some driver interviews. Don't go anywhere. All right. And Ryan, I'm going to let you talk to our winner. I always seem to talk to everybody in the beginning. I'll let you go first today.
Oh, goody. Matt Ritchie, is he here? Oh, there he is. Congratulations, sir. Great victory there. Tell us about your race and how you were able to come out on top here at Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, going into this race, I thought, everyone would just be running the bottom or like right below the first seam, but it was like nothing I raced here before. We were above the first seam, more towards the wall. Using brake at sometimes. The car was like really tight today, but man, that was crazy. I thought Leonard had it when he pit on lap 50 because I knew we couldn't make it on a one stop. So I thought he had it won, but the tires fell off really quick, so we were able to get him back there. But we had a good battle. I hope it was enjoyable for you guys.
Absolutely, great race in there by everyone. And you seemed to pull away there. We thought there was going to be a battle there between you and Favignano at the end when you guys were coming up to some lap traffic with about 2 laps left. But then you just kind of put him in your rearview mirror and sent him on the way. What happened there? Were you just saving tires and then just decided to put the foot down, or how were you able to get that gap on him?
Not sure. But the lap cars played a big role in this. Taking a line away from us. Everyone was pretty much running the top, and that's where you wanted to be. But I wanted to make sure I got the pass within like 20 laps because once the tires got like 30 laps on them, it was really hard to pass on the bottom. It was really just one groove on the top. So he was just probably burned them, which what happens. But he was really quick today. So.
Well, congrats, Richie, on a great win at Vegas. Jeff, I'll pass it over to you.
Oh, I definitely want to talk to Isaiah Stevens. 21st you rolled off here. Good to be back racing again, and you ended up P7. Tell us about your night in Las Vegas. Or maybe not. I don't think he will. I think we'll talk to somebody else. I do want to talk to Wes. Wes, I mean, you were the last man standing there at the end. You started 4th tonight. You end up P8, top 10. Tell us about your strategy there at the end.
Well, I mean, you kind of get the third strategy out the window when, you get caught up in a lap 1 incident. But, I know it wasn't done on purpose. Cold tires reign supreme there. So, ain't nothing but a thing. Won't say I didn't say any explicatives, loudly at my microphone. But, I understood what was happening there. So ain't no harm, no foul from Joel. And then there's no reason for me to go up there and try to get my lap back and ruin the battle for the race lead there. There's just no reason in doing that. Especially being in the lucky dog position and not having any pressure for that there at the end. I was just hoping for another caution. Lady Luck did not deal a fair hand or a great hand to me tonight, but to recover and get a P8 and get to race around with a lot of my buddies, that was absolutely awesome. I had so much fun tonight, honestly, coming from the back of the pack. It was a really fun race.
Well, there you go. Started 4th, and you'll end up a top 10. You got a couple more races to go, and you are definitely in contention for the championship, so keep at it.
Thank you.
And I do want to talk to, I know that you're the fan favorite, Brandon Buggs. Started 23rd. This is an incredible run. 23rd. At the very end, you gave everything you could, holding on for that caution if it was to come. It did not, but you end up in the top 10.
Yeah. I was just, my whole strategy, the whole race was to not be fast on the short run. It was to be consistent on the long run. And I felt like I was doing that. And, I saw everybody pitting. I still could tell I had tire and I was within my pace that I wanted to hit. So I was just going to keep going. And no caution came out. I knew I couldn't make it to the end on fuel. So I just figured, why not bring it in now and just do 20 really hard laps. Probably should have pit maybe a couple more laps earlier and maybe been able to close that gap on Charles there a little bit, but it is what it is. I'm top 10. I'm happy with that. It was a lot of fun.
We have a top 10 for Brandon Buggs. Ryan.
Well, let's talk to the man with the greatest flow in the world, Joel Brown.
No.
Tough start there for you. I did this.
man,
I
that
did
was
the
rough.
same thing, but on Monday night, both Bugs and I tandem drifted on that first lap corner coming out of 4. Great job there by you to get it back into. What did you get? 10th place there? I don't know.
Ninth.
9th place, top
Yeah.
10. Tell us about your race and what you had to do to claw your way back.
Disappointing. That's how the race was. Yeah, you could send it into that turn in practice out of the pits with cold tires all day long, and I just wasn't expecting it really. But yeah, we were able to come back to 9th. It was hard. I was trying to stay behind West there, and he ended up walking away. So P9, I'll take it after the catastrophe that I caused. Apologize to everybody that had to use their fast repairs on lap 2.
Yeah, it happens, man. That's racing, and cold tires, like Wes said, reigns supreme on lap 1. Wasn't anything you could do. You tried your best to get out of everybody's way, but congrats on getting a top 10. And the other driver I want to talk to quickly, Charles Colbor Gray. Great top 5 from you. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was good, man. Just tried to be, I guess, kind of like Bugs was saying, consistent on the long run. That unfortunate accident at the beginning was pretty fortunate for us. It took us from 11th to 5th, and then we were able to just kind of hold on to it. I was trying to stay on the same pit strategy as the leaders towards the end there, but once Brandon made that second green flag stop, I figured I might as well go in a lap after him and maybe have a little bit fresher tires to see if I could do anything with it. And I think that is what honestly kept me in front of Bugs those last few laps. I think another 5 laps he'd have had me.
Right on. Well, good top 5 finish from the 87 camp. Jeff, back to you.
Yep, want to talk to Brandon Osborne. You started 20th, way there in the back after a not so great start as far as the qualifying effort went, but you showed pace all day. You had a different strategy. Tell us how your race went.
Yeah, it didn't go the way that I planned it at all. I guess these races are scripted for late race cautions only when we have a good car. When it's the other way and we really need a caution, it doesn't seem to come out. But that's the way the dice rolled here in Vegas. Couldn't really figure the car out for qualifying. That's why we were so low. And by the end of the first run, we really had it going. I really wish I could have had a chance. Watching the time monitor, we were really close to the top 3 of the whole race, and the pit stop separated us, and didn't really have a chance to race it out at the end. So coming from 20th to 4th, I'll 100% take it and move on to next week.
I mean, considering how close the points battle is going into these last 2 races, what is your strategy or your idea behind, or more so your strategy going into these last 2 races? Would you have anything for next week? Is it a good track for you?
I don't even know what it is on the schedule. But usually week by week, I take the track and do some research on it, see what I can do, what I can't do. You really got to focus these next 2 weeks. Leonard, Matt, Dylan, Wes, all real good racers. So it's going to take a lot. The first thing's going to be surviving. Luckily, we got through that wreck on the second lap here today, and that's going to be the main focus, because one bad wreck or 2 bad wrecks in a race, to one of the leaders in the points, and that's going to kind of ruin their chances. So really sticking together solid finishes and make sure that you do keep it up front, but keep it clean as well.
There you go. 16 positions gained today after starting 20th. We'll end up in the top 5. That'll do it for us. You guys have a great drivers meeting. I'm sure you will. I'll let the 43 know that he absolutely biffed it there on the first lap. We'll let you guys get to it.
All right. Thanks for the broadcast.
Hey, real quick, shameless self-plug for all the Enduro guys this weekend. Good luck to everybody racing this weekend. We got 3 cars racing the Sebring 12-hour this Friday. So come on out to all the various streams. We'll be posting it on our Twitter. You want to check it out and support our drivers doing the 12 hours at Sebring. And for the guys in here, that if you're interested in doing endurance racing, I know a lot of you are, pop out to the streams and come say hi and support your fellow league racers, because it's going to be a good time. But thanks, guys. Good race.
Either.
Okay, well, that is going to do it for us tonight. What a heck of a race that was, and it's starting to heat up as far as the points go. And he wasn't sure where we were going next week. Well, I can tell you right now, we're going to Richmond Raceway for some short track racing under the lights, and it's going to be a good time.
Ooh, I love the short tracks. I love the short tracks. That's going to be a good time, especially leading into Homestead. We're coming down to the last 2 races. Fireworks are going to fly.
There you go, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to go ahead and send you to Wes the Mess. He will cover the drivers' meeting, and then he always streams something afterwards. An incredible streamer over here on Twitch as well. So stand by for that. We're going to send you off over there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, and we'll see you next week in Richmond.